posts.
Please, we're just catfishing each other. I'm half the commenters. He's the other half.
We're trying to fuck each other in the comments.
I almost responded. Yeah, we got a World of Warcraft relationship. But hey, must be a devil between us. Welcome to MKUsual.
It's like MK Ultra, but more normal.
It is.
It's Wednesday.
It's Wednesday.
Dudes.
My dudes. Is that the day?
It is Wednesday.
It's Wednesday, my dudes. That's the frog day.
Yeah.
I'm gonna wear my therapist glasses. I got my therapist coffee.
I just look like this.
He just looks like a therapist. Mine is the t-shirt.
I don't look like a therapist. Yeah. Death is coming for you all. That's how I would be as a therapist.
Yes, it is. Now, what does that mean for you, Nick?
It means I grew up son of a mortician and used to play in a funeral home. We used to get ice cream money from Mike, the casket delivery guy.
Mm-hmm. Very interesting.
We used to get very excited when Dad had a funeral because that meant ice cream from Mike.
Ice cream, baby. Shout out to Mike, not an op.
Mike's the homie.
Mike's the homie. Well, it's the day when the most sane, stable people you know give advice to people on the internet. It is Am I the Asshole Wednesday. I think you
I got a couple.
You got a couple. Okay, I'll let you start.
This one's kind of topical. User TDR413 asks, am I the asshole for telling my sister who her husband voted for, which is now seriously making her consider divorce?
Whoa.
My sister's husband and I have been best friends since childhood, so I was very happy when my sister married him, because at his core, he's a good man. We have been friends for a really long time because we're both very sporty and like to go on runs, hikes, play sports, etc. We rarely have any deep talks. We usually just joke around and have casual convos.
Sounds
Great friends.
great friends.
For this election, he voted for Trump, which surprised me, and I asked him if he had told my sister about it because my sister has a strong stance on it. He said he lied to her and that it wasn't a big deal and to let it go.
Oh.
Now, normally, I would have let it go because who he voted for doesn't really bother me. But since this was about my sister, I told him he either had to tell her or I would. He begged me not to tell, but I had no choice because ultimately my loyalty lies with my sister.
What?
I told my sister about it and she is now seriously considering divorce. This has also ruined my friendship with him even though I didn't want it to. However, my sister is very thankful I told her, and she is also very sorry and apologetic that it has ruined my friendship with my best friend. Was I the asshole?
I want to show you something, Nick. I want to show you a Harris campaign ad that played in the last week or two of the campaign. Whoops, whoop. All right.
Your turn, honey.
In the one place in America where women still have a right to choose. You can vote any way you want. And no one will ever know.
Did you make the right choice?
Sure did, honey.
Remember, what happens in the booth stays in the booth. Vote Harris Walls. Vote Common Good is responsible for the
I don't even know what the fuck that means.
Well, that creepy husband was going to beat her if she didn't vote for Trump. She had to lie. This guy's in the same situation.
Yeah.
This guy's in the exact same situation. He's a Harris ad.
Did you
Except for he secretly voted for... You got played. You got played.
Well, okay. There's an update. This is a new.
Okay.
This is a new. So he posted that, and then this is the update. So Shortly after I posted this, I called my sister to see where she was at, and she has decided she is going to proceed with the divorce because she is worried about the no-fault divorce law Trump's administration will try to enforce.
Shut the fuck up, dude. Oh my God.
I do feel a bit bad about it because she has been with her husband for more than a decade.
This is why I don't feel bad bullying people. You know,
They've been through 2 other elections. One of them was the other Trump election, which he didn't.
They've been
vote
through
for.
3 Trump elections.
Yeah.
16, 20, and 2024.
Yeah. Jesus.
A decade of marriage.
More than a decade. They were each other's first love, first partner, first everything. My sister again thanked me a lot for informing. This guy's okay. This guy. My sister again thanked me a lot for informing her, and she said all her feelings for her husband have instantly disappeared. I know my sister's husband loved my sister. He went above and beyond for her, and my sister told me he's really shocked and isn't taking this divorce well, but that she has to look out for herself. My wife does think it's a really sad situation all around because my sister and her husband were a really happy couple. My wife thinks maybe I shouldn't have said anything and stayed out of it, but I told my wife I would choose family over anyone, and that if given a chance to repeat, I would do it all over
You
again.
psychopath.
See,
Well, you psychopath. You're not only an asshole, you're a fucking psycho. And so is your sister, dude. Your parents fucking raised you wrong. He's like, I don't actually care who he voted for. I just want to fuck up his marriage. So he either...
Yeah.
I don't believe that for a second. If this guy, if his deep dark secret was when they went out on their little casual convo hunting trips, if he was like sneaking some candy bars that his wife doesn't want him to eat, this dude wouldn't be like, my sister comes first. She has to know about the candy bars. You fucking care who he voted for. It bothers you that he voted for Trump, and you wanted to cause some freaking chaos.
Yeah. I mean,
So what is this no-fault divorce thing? Like, first of all, nobody's trying to get rid of no-fault divorce. That's been the rule for like forever. Probably the entire time we've been born. And also, like, okay, so you're scared that in the future there has to be a reason to divorce him. Therefore, I'm just going to do it now while I don't have to list a reason. Like, you just want to divorce. You understand what I'm saying? Like,
well, because if she listed that as a reason, it isn't a valid reason. I assume is that like that's.
Well, what I'm saying
that's
is
the implication.
no. What I'm saying is like no fault divorces. Like previously, like back in the day, some states had rules where like there had to be adultery,
Okay.
or you couldn't have children, or there was abuse. You had to list a reason, otherwise you couldn't get divorced. Okay, so no fault divorce, which has been the rule for like forever, our entire life, probably my mom's entire life, has been that you don't have to list those things. You could just be like, I don't want feeling it.
It's like at will hiring.
It's at will hiring. It's at will hire and fire. But what I'm saying is, it's so weaselly to. There's this like fantasy, this Project 2025 thing that Trump's gonna get rid of no fault divorce, or like get rid of abortion, all this shit. So like, so it's so weaselly to say, well, I'm really just doing this to. It's not about the way you voted, honey. It's just that the guy you voted for is going to take away my right to divorce you for no reason. And I don't want to be trapped.
There's so much going on.
I don't want to be
here.
trapped with you. So I'm just going to go ahead and do it now while I don't have to list a reason. But that like implies, you see what I'm saying? Like that would, there's so much going on here, dude. TDR413, you're a fucking dick. And your sister sucks.
This is the thing that bothered me the most. I think is that it's like this is a childhood friend, and he what does he say? He says it in a weird
This is
way.
what politics does to people, dude.
We rarely have any deep talks. Like, what do they talk about if they hang out so fucking much? They're at family events, right? They got to be like
He's married to your sister.
right. You just, I don't know. You never fucking.
She's just mad. She's just mad. Didn't he say he's like an amazing husband, was her first love, and they've been
Above and
together over a
beyond,
decade?
first everything. This is a childhood friend of his, so she's probably known him But that's how they
She's probably known him since they were kids.
Yes.
This is like your classic amazing romance, right? Like,
yes.
And because he voted for Trump, she's just like, and that's the other thing too. You know what? Like I've always said, these relationship things, you can't force you to stay with someone. Whatever, if that's your deal breaker,
right?
You're a piece of shit. But whatever, dude. But then to tell him or to like list the reason as this like no fault divorce nonsense is just, it's literally, she's doing this horrible thing. Do they have kids?
I don't think they have kids. I can't remember. I don't remember them talking about kids.
But to list that as your reasoning, which is like this hysterical, nonsensical thing, like implying that like the next thing that's going to start happening is he's going to start beating you and you're going to have no escape. It's like you're literally victimizing this dude for how he voted. You're literally like tearing apart this marriage purely because of how he voted based on this. And then you're telling him it's because I'm scared you're going to start being you're being the asshole while calling him an asshole.
And it implies that he didn't vote for Trump the last time he had the chance, or the last 2 times.
Or he was too scared to fucking say it, I guess.
Right.
This is crazy. And that ad we played, that's all fine if you... This is what I don't get about people, dude. I don't want to make this a completely political show, but like, I don't get this, like all these people who after the election are like, well, now if you're my friend and you're a Trump supporter, like, don't talk to me anymore. It's like, but the day before the election, when you thought you were going to win, you're fine with that person being your friend or your husband.
Yeah.
Or your childhood best friend. And then all of a sudden you lose and you're like, well, now I no longer want to be associated with you. It's like, well, what is that? You probably just are an awful person anyway. Like, because what does that mean? If Kamala had won, do you think she'd still divorce him? Because according to her reason, it's this fantasy that Trump's going to... So she'd stay with him. So she's essentially, people are telling their friends and their relatives and their husbands and their wives maybe, I don't know. People are telling these people in their lives, yeah, you can believe whatever you want, but you can't win.
Yeah.
And that can't... If your thoughts or your beliefs... My thoughts and beliefs get to be in the real world and affect your life and your... world, but if your thought, and I'm fine with whatever you think and believe, as long as it doesn't manifest in any way, then I have to demonize you and get as far away from you as possible because you're scared. Like, what is that? I don't even understand what that means, what that relationship means otherwise. Like, what does this relationship look like? Kamala wins, husband still voted for Trump, wife finds out she voted for Trump, she probably wouldn't leave him. But like, what does that mean? Like, I would have left you if the guy you voted for won. You're just punishing a guy, which means she doesn't really like you to begin with. Like, fuck all y'all. Sorry, I didn't know that would get me. Fuck all y'all in this situation.
And yeah. He's the asshole for telling.
And you're the asshole, TDR. Sorry, do you have any thoughts?
Well, I'm still hung up on the no deep talks. It's like how superficial and shallow was this supposed this good relationship anyway?
It's super shallow.
Like, you never talked about God, your fucking fear of death. You never talked about your politics.
But you'll definitely run to his wife and stir shit.
And then he's playing this card of like,
my family comes first.
Family over everything.
Well, guess what? They're a family now because they're married.
Right.
That's her family now, dipshit.
Yeah.
I don't think this guy likes this guy.
Yeah. I don't know. Let's move
Okay. This is from user Mamarachi. Mamarki?
Okay.
Am I the asshole for catfishing my friend on Twitch? A few years ago, my 26-year-old female roommate, the writer's 26-year-old female, her roommate's 26-year-old male, started streaming games on Twitch. The guy has a serious follow-through problem. If he doesn't see immediate success, he gets depressed and gives up. I really want him to give it a good try, so I made an account, followed him, and started chatting with him as a teenage boy. He came out of his room the next day, beaming about his first follower. I kept it up for a few months until he had what I thought was a decent following for a new streamer and returned to my regular sleep schedule. He would stream 7 p.m. to 1 a.m. This is insane. Last week, my boyfriend, who I told about it, let slip that I was the teen boy, and he got pissed. He started saying he wanted to get big on his own. He has about 1,200 followers now. Please take this opportunity to like and follow us. Please don't all be catfishers.
I'm losing sleep commenting
as
on
other
all these
people.
posts.
Please, we're just catfishing each other. I'm half the commenters. He's the other half.
We're trying to fuck each other in the comments.
I almost responded. Yeah, we got a World of Warcraft relationship going. So she was outed. She says, I explained that I didn't want him to give up early and knew that people probably wouldn't join the stream if no one else was watching, but he insisted that I pity him and think he can't do anything without my help. I do have a tendency to try to help my friends with these kinds of things, whether they ask me to or not. I really was just trying to do a nice thing for him. Am I the asshole for catfishing my friend on Twitch? I also have a strong opinion of this. I don't think so at all. I don't think so at all. I think that's like a really sweet...
Right. The guy seems kind of pathetic, and
yes.
She's like, sounds like she's underselling it. Like he probably... That was her roommate, right?
Yeah.
So
Not her
like,
boyfriend.
Probably like was sick of this guy fucking moping around all the time. Probably.
I know this guy. I've had girlfriends who have this guy as a roommate. I know this guy.
Yeah.
I met this guy.
Yeah. Probably could do good thing, you know, probably is smart and, you know, cares about stuff and can, well, I don't know.
At the end of the day,
I just feel bad for him.
When I read Catfish, and then the first line was, I'm a 26-year-old female and he's a 26-year-old male, I thought she was going to imply that she like romantically catfished him, and I was getting ready to go off again. Then it turns out she impersonated a child to like raise his like pathetic self-esteem. And it was like, this guy has follow-through problems. Then she says, resume my normal sleep schedule. He streamed from 7 p.m. That's 6 hours a day that she was spending hyping up this dude. That's crazy. I don't know if I'm even that good of a friend, but I say good friend.
Yeah.
That's insane that he's mad about that. That's like a funny story. Now that he has 1,200 followers, you know what I mean? Like, that'd be a funny story. I'd be like, oh, you son of a bitch. You know.
Right. It worked, right?
It worked. It kept him doing it.
Kept him
but he's like, you didn't believe in me.
She was probably right.
Even if she's not right, I'd just be like,
no,
what? You didn't believe in me.
She was right about like people will stay if there's already people there. I feel like she was probably right about that.
That probably is true.
And so she was just like, just like a solid wing person.
Yeah, dude, Mama Arachi, dude, you're a keeper. You're not the asshole.
Yeah.
He might be an asshole.
Not the asshole.
Not the asshole at all. All right, your turn.
I didn't read this one. I just read the headline. So.
Oh, we get it both for the first time.
Yeah. User minute guidance 5691. Am I the asshole for not sleeping with my husband until he gets a vasectomy? I, 35 female, have 4 children with my husband, 30 male. I am having a hard time writing this. I keep info dumping, unimportant details, and have to rewrite. Basically, every time my husband has been in charge of BC, we end up with another child, birth control. We used condoms when we got pregnant with our twins, and we had no pregnancies for 2 years because I had an IUD. Car accident injury ended up needing us to use condoms for a while. Pregnant immediately. Baby was born. This is number 3. I got pregnant again immediately. She's putting weird. Okay, whatever. For almost a year and a half, I've been pushing him to get a vasectomy. There was always a reason that it's not the time. He had to reschedule an appointment one time, and then it just never happened. Every time I bring it up, it seems I am starting from the beginning. I can't be on hormonal birth control because of medication issues. Early this year, I went through a pregnancy that I lost. It was a roller coaster of emotions because it was not planned, and we live in a state where choice wasn't an option. And while I wasn't opposed to another child in the future, not now. I was dealing with a lot of anger from my husband and I was dealing with a lot of anger from my husband and parents, and then everyone just refused to acknowledge the pregnancy. I lost the baby at about 19 weeks. He left me to go to work in the middle of it. I should have gone to the hospital, but couldn't unless I was going to take all my kids with me.
Wild.
He then took a day off work 4 days later for a stuffy nose. So basically alone, still with him in the house.
Jesus Christ.
I have not recovered emotionally. 2 days ago, she is typing up a storm. 2 days ago, he wakes me up for intimacy, and I ask to make sure he has a condom. He asks, really? It's in a different room.
Wow.
The bathroom. There's no way the bathroom isn't farther than 10 feet away from where they are.
Right.
I have to ask a second time. I even use the words, I can't get pregnant again. So he gets one. He puts it on. He doesn't put it on until I remind him a third time. Partway through, he says something like, I just can't. And it is only at the end that I realize he has removed the condom when a mess is made. I didn't say anything at the moment. I don't know why I didn't seem to really process what was going on. I was tired when it started. I enjoyed the activity, and I told him I love him, even after I realized what went on. I'm having problems because I am so upset with him, but I am so excited to be around him. I forget how violated I feel. I feel insane. I feel like it's Stockholm Syndrome, and I am watching myself through a window. I watched this person possess me who was just so happy to talk to this person who used to be the only thing that ever made me feel safe. I've been alternating between being angry with him and shaking with rage and sobbing. He is at work, and I have sent him a text that we need to talk tonight right before I type this out. He gets off work in 5 hours, and I have just been shaking in a wreck.
Meh. Marriage counseling. Holy shit. Talk to your priest. Or...
There's a little more.
Okay.
I am so scared I am going to wind up pregnant again. Losing the last one almost killed me, literally, and I don't want him to touch me again until I know his touch won't kill me. Okay, she's upset. She's very upset. I feel so at odds because he's my only safe place, my only comfort, and he's the one who hurt me. I don't think this conversation will go well. He is so reasonable, and until eyes are on him for accountability, not reasonable.
Yeah.
But it has to happen now, and frankly, I don't know if our relationship will handle the conversation going poorly after everything I've gone through this year. I am tired, and now that I'm going to be scared until I bleed again. Does he not care? I just don't trust him anymore after this, and I think I am having a hard time accepting that. I don't think there's any other step forward to repairing this relationship other than him getting fixed. I don't think anything else will be enough ever again. So sorry this post is a mess. I'm a mess, and this is the best I can do. I feel like I'm going to have an anxiety attack just posting this. I need to get my wits about me so I'm not emotional when I talk to him. I just want to make sure I'm not crazy. Please and thank you.
God, she's giving me anxiety. Holy shit.
Yeah, same. Not the asshole.
Not the asshole. No. I don't think...
That got a little heavier than I expected.
That got way heavy. I think we both agree not the asshole. You might not... not a huge fan of vasectomies or whatever. But, you know...
okay.
Dude, for being in the state she's in right now, dude, any sane person would be feeling the way she's feeling. Especially after that story she told about him going to work.
Yeah, she has a miscarriage and he just goes back to work and then takes a day off.
Then takes a day off 2 days later. That's insane, bro.
Yeah. Also, it sounded like the time that she's talking about after all that, they tried to have sex, he came inside the condom and then took it off and went back in. She didn't say that, but she said he took it off after the mess was made.
These people need to learn how to communicate. First of all, he's totally an asshole for leaving her.
Yeah, he's like an asshole across the board for a lot of this stuff.
Yes.
I can't wear a condom. You can't, bro.
What's the dynamic here? Like, well, they need to seek like serious help.
Yeah.
Like it sounds like in many respects they have a nice. She's like, he's the only shoulder I want to cry on. He's like my one and only. I love him. I feel safe. Like, it sounds like a lot about their relationship is good, but like this has got all out of sorts. All out of sorts. They need to seek like professional or religious counseling.
Yeah.
They need like.
This is all within the last 6 years. Their oldest kids are 6 years old. And then when she had an IUD, they didn't get pregnant. Every time that they use condoms, when he puts the condom on.
But as we know,
he's bussing in the condoms and then putting it back in. But the fucking goo,
bussing.
The goo's already on the swizzle stick, and he fucking swizzles it in there, makes some sweet tea out of that.
Dude, I'm not gonna tell your husband he has to be fixed. I ain't tell you got to do anything. You know, but do you guys need help?
Yeah, something's.
You're not the asshole. Totally not the asshole.
Anal? I don't
Damn
know.
it, Nick.
I'm offering practical solutions here.
I don't even want to touch him. I don't want to touch 90% of that, dude.
Yeah, it's.
You're not the asshole. Minute guidance.
Yeah.
5691.
I hope
you work it out with him.
Yeah.
I mean, I think my thing with the vasectomy thing isn't like, ooh, I don't want to have a vasectomy. I think my thing with that is like an ultimatum.
Vasectomy can be undone too.
Yes, absolutely. I'm not saying anything about birth control. I'm not saying anything about condoms, vasectomy, the pill, IUD, whatever. What I'm saying is like,
this guy's shooting big guns.
she's at the point now where she's like online, like having this panic attack about this conversation. She's gonna go on real hot.
Yeah.
And she's gonna be like, "Here's my ultimatum. You gotta get fixed." Like,
she said she was gonna try to cool off.
They need to invite some third parties in this.
This is not
and we will offer our services for 1 like and 1 subscribe and $30 plus lunch. We will marriage counsel you guys.
Jimmy,
I just hope because it does sound like a lot of the marriage is nice.
Jimmy John's at least.
Yes.
I'm getting a turkey tom out of this.
Yeah,
chocolate
out of this
chip
mess,
cookie.
dude. You are by far not the asshole, but also I really hope it doesn't become that situation where you show up, she's had this whole internal argument with herself for so long.
I also worry that she's like underselling how, like, maybe he is a dick.
That's possible.
And she's just like kind of.
She might be talking him up like Kim Jong-un, like he's amazing.
Yeah.
But if he's not, and it is a healthy marriage, other than this stuff that's been going on, like, here's the thing: a lot of times, you rewrite your own story every day. And I'm not saying I doubt anything in her own story, but like, the previous pregnancies, maybe they wanted to have. Maybe it was one of those where it's like, if it happens, it happens. Right. And then it's like, then she gets on the IUD, this car accident happens, they have this miscarriage, this is like really tough turmoil time in their relationship, and then it's
they had 2 kids after the car accident and then the miscarriage.
Right.
Okay.
But it's just like, you can rewrite the way you felt about things in the past based on how you're feeling about things now. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like, this miscarriage is obviously like this very pivotal point. Like, it could be to the point where she gets even like revising how she felt about these past pregnancies. You know what I mean? Which makes the story way bigger than it is. When really they have this like big emotional issue they need to work out as a couple. And it doesn't sound like they're communicating.
Yeah. Like not.
Yeah, and good on her for wanting to communicate. But it sounds like they haven't dealt with how she feels about him leaving during that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because she didn't mention any conversation or argument or reconciliation to that.
Yeah.
She's just going to come in hot and be like, give it a second here, we're not having sex. She's at her wit's end.
Yeah, and she's gonna start there and maybe try to work backwards, but all that it started. But like I think you're
Yeah,
saying,
and when you're at your wit's end, you're like, I got pregnant for you. And you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
And so if she really is happy otherwise, they need serious counseling.
Yeah.
You can't just do it in one big brawl, because what's going to happen here is she's going to come in with a vasectomy thing. He's already weird about a condom. So you know how he's going to act.
Maybe he's
He
just
says, I can't put on a
just
condom.
fucking butterfingers and just woo and just
Maybe he has arms like this, like he literally can't, and she's like blaming him. That's the part we don't know. He has flippers. He's a flipper guy. And she's like,
babe, I can't.
He's like, babe, I can't. And she's like online, like, my husband says he can't put on a condom. But no, you're not.
This guy's
Big
a
headline,
dick.
you're not the asshole. But I will say, I would love to know if there's an update to that in the future, because I feel like what's getting ready to happen is a freaking knockdown, drag out.
I think this was maybe posted today.
Yeah, it sounded like it was pretty recent, because the updates were all recent too. So I bet she updates in the future. Yeah. But unanimously, let's go to the scoreboard. You are the asshole for leaving your spouse or who they voted for. But more importantly, you're the asshole for meddling in someone's marriage over that. Not the asshole. What was mine?
The catfish, the wholesome catfish.
Not the asshole who a nice wholesome catfish and help your nerdy, probably a douche roommate.
Yeah, he probably has fucking
Stopping
half-eaten pizza rolls on a paper plate under his
that
bed.
room is full of Mountain Dew bottles, dude.
Yeah. That man,
what are you doing? Go live with your boyfriend, dude.
That man is orange from Doritos always.
I know, dude. I dated someone who I think we all know this dude.
Yeah.
Definitely not the asshole husband, and the last one is that. But I wish them both the best.
Yeah.
And I hope they figure it out. That's a boiling point situation. Who knows? Sorry for exploding on you over the Trump. We were talking about people like that earlier today. Any final thoughts on any of these cases? I can't get over how wholesome the middle one was. That one took me for a loop.
Yeah.
I read the first sentence and the headline before I came on the show, and I was like, oh yeah, we're going to blow this bitch up.
Yeah.
And then no.
She blew our backs out.
Really? It's been a good day for the chicks. Guy asshole number 1, guy asshole number 3, guy asshole number 2.
Big win for the ladies.
Big win for the ladies this week.
Except for all the horrible trauma that they're enduring.
That's true. I'm sorry. That's true. Sorry about that part. Other than that, big win. This is a big week for you. All right, well, I love you. Post your own problems below. I know you got them.
Yeah. I'm going to start catfishing this podcast with my own problems.
Thank you, Nick. If any of you want to catfish us, please don't be a teenage boy.
Please don't be Phil Andrews.
Please don't be Phil Andrews catfishing us as teenage boys. Nick cannot resist the teenage boys. All right, that's a wrap. That's a show.
We did it. We love you. Come back next time.
Bye.